Gary Elkerton grabs one of the first real set waves of the heat. A nice wave, but not really a high scorer. We'll take another look from our water angle. From here, the wave looks a lot steeper, and Gary makes the drop easily. He almost looks casual, but he's positioned himself too far out in front, and he knows it. Had he stalled a little more, the wave would have provided an excellent tube ride. And back out in the lineup, Damian Hardman paddles into a smaller wave. Oh, he slipped right off the rail. Not going to be a lot of points for that ride. As Damian makes his way outside, Brian McNulty drops into a perfectly shaped wave. Ooh, and gets stuffed. A good ride for Brian, and he continues to rack up points on the inside.
Maxwell Carroll's joining him.
Tom Carroll's in position, and he strokes into it. His timing is flawless. Tom attacks the takeoff and goes right into his bottom turn. Cuts back a little for a stall and trims. He hugs the inside wall and has to duck to get past the falling section. He loves surfing pipe, and it really shows. Damian has a bigger wave this time. Let's see what he does with it. He tries to stall, but just can't get covered, and that north section cuts him right off. Elkerton, with a late takeoff, angles in, grabs a rail, and he's flying. Good ride for Gary. He's one of the few hot new young Aussies that just loves surfing bigger waves. And out the back, Tom Carroll takes off deep. Whoa, there's no way. Tom's just going for it out there. From this angle, you can almost feel the pain as Tom just gets eaten. And that'll cost him a board. He'll be all right, but the time used to swim in and grab a new board could make the difference between winning and losing. The other thing is that the broken board was his first choice, and the change of equipment might affect his surfing. The second board would be a little longer or shorter with different dimensions. Tom's made the change, and it does look like a longer board. This could affect his turning ability somewhat. We'll have to watch on his next ride to see how he handles it. While Tom was changing boards, Brian McNulty edges ahead with this ride. He's just steadily racking up those points. Hardman drops in on the outside and looks to have a good wave. He gets covered. Oh, he doesn't make it out. Tommy picks up his first wave on the new board. He seems to be just feeling it out as the wave closes out around him.
Moving on. Second.
Looking casual, the Australian Gary Elkerton tries for a tube ride.
Of Australia. Simon looked good. He had in the main event.
It's a big steep face, and Gary drops in effortlessly. Times out his bottom turn and pulls in. Little styling, and he's out of there.
Down the wind right now. Unfortunately, that.
The Hawaiian sun is smothered by some rather dark-looking rain clouds, but no one seems to be concerned. The trades could blow them right out to sea. Brian McNulty takes off on his last ride, and the horn sounds to end the heat. He'll ride this one all the way to the beach. While the judges tally up their scores, the surfers make their way to shore. A dry towel and a short rest for those advancing to the finals. Once the officials announce the results, the competition will begin immediately. The day is wearing on, and everyone is anxious to see the finals held in the good conditions prevailing. The waning light and the threat of rain are also a consideration. And the scores are announced. Australian Tom Carroll wins the heat, and Californian Brian McNulty advances along with him. It will be another day for Gary Elkerton and Australian Damien Hardman. In the final heat, we will see Derek Ho, Chris Frohoff, Tom Carroll, and Brian McNulty. One Hawaiian, two Californians, and one Australian, but all goofy footers. Let's take a look back at some of the rides that brought them this far. Well, the finals are about to get underway. Let's see what colors the competitors will wear. Chris Frohoff will be in green. Tom Carroll wears red. Derek Ho keeps his white shirt, and California Brian McNulty wears yellow. As the competitors get into position, the heat is about to begin.
Release. That's how I lost last day. That's not
As the competitors get into position, the heat is about to begin. Chris Frohoff draws first blood and stuffs himself into a closing section. Right behind him, Derek pops out of a spitting tube and his first ride. On the replay, we pick up Derek from his takeoff. Again, he positions himself perfectly, really showing his knowledge of this break. That north ledge closes out, and Derek's only choice is out the front. And his ride didn't go unnoticed as the judges mark his scores. On the outside, it's Chris Frohoff, and he's just swallowed up. Our water cameraman got so many good shots, let's just sit back and enjoy some beautiful surfing, Hawaiian style. Derek Ho seems to be leading up to this point, but these guys are just ripping and really enjoying this final heat. Chris pulls into a really nice tube, and he's stoked. Derek Ho pulls off another incredible ride, and it's all up to the judges now. There were so many good waves that Chris Frohoff uses his entire wave allowance and hits the beach even before time runs out. And the horn marks the end of the competition for the 16th annual Marui Offshore Masters. The crowd gathers as the officials prepare for the awards to be presented. Each of these surfers has given it their all, and you can feel the tension as they wait for the results to be announced. The judges' sheets have been tallied, and it will be California's Brian McNulty taking 4th place, and he's rewarded for his efforts by Miss Hawaii. 3rd place will go to Californian Chris Frohoff. That leaves 1 Australian and 1 Hawaiian.
2nd place, in pink from Australia, Tom Carroll.
And it will be Derek Ho that will be the pipeline master, while Tom Carroll is runner-up. It was close, but in the end, it was Derek Ho who came out on top and was crowned master of the 16th annual event.
I felt pretty confident throughout the day, and the waves were pretty hard to go in and come out in the finals, and you just had to be there at the right time in the right spot to make the right wave.
How'd you feel this morning before competition when you first woke up?
I felt pretty good. I've been waking up every morning at 5:30 or 6, just waiting for the contest, and it's been canceled the last 5 to 8 days, and I was glad it was on today. I think the contest directors made a good call.
Derek Ho surfed extremely well. He's a very hard man to beat out here. He commands the inside position rather well, and he's just a hard man to beat. He's very hot in the tube. He's really he really makes a deep tube. It looks simple.
Yeah, he had a ride that the whole beach will be talking about tomorrow.
Oh, they'll be talking about that one forever. That tube I watched. I was on the beach and I was watching that thing. It was just that was an awesome tube ride. He was in there talking to someone. They just let him out. I said, "Come on, let me out," and he was out.
On a scale of from 1 to 10, what do you call it?
That one does a 10 plus. That one that he got, it's just horrendous.